which supports that outsider who's entering into the contract with the company. The doctrine of indoor management says that beyond a point, one is not expected to know. अरे भाई जानेंगे भी तो कितना जानेंगे? अगर किसी से ब्याह करने जाएंगे तो वो तो बेस्ट फुट फॉरवर्ड ही करेगा ना. सामने वाला तो इतना अच्छा दिखाता है कि लगता है वाह यार मेरी किस्मत खुल गई, इतना अच्छा व्यक्ति मिल गया. ऐसा तो कोई संसार में होता ही नहीं. और असलियत तो बाद में पता चलती है. मुझे भी पता चल रही है. हाँ? उस समय तो लगता था बस 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 यही है जो है. तो कंस्ट्रक्टिव नोटिस भी कितना. हाँ हाँ सामने है, देखो डरा रही है अभी भी.
बाद में नोटिस मिलेगा.
No, vice versa. Never dare to do this vice versa in your life ever. Vice versa. No, only receive. Keep receiving. No vice versa. This is my guru mantra to you. Beyond company law. No vice versa. Vice versa is ultra virus to us.
Not intra-virus.
No. You have to just keep receiving. Okay. Moving forward. Indoor management says there is a limit to know. Beyond a point, you cannot know. And the leading case on this is Royal British Bank versus Turkand. Royal British Bank versus Turquand. Turkand. Turquand. Now, Royal British Bank versus Turkand happened when the articles of the association of the company stated that the directors of the company are entitled to obtain loan. But the word used was the chosen directors, backed by the resolution, are authorized to take loan. And therefore the loan was applied and granted. Later on, the repayment was denied, stating the company stated that they had not authorized that director to obtain loan. But the court declined to support the company on the ground that your article stated that the directors through a resolution are entitled to obtain loan. So naturally, a person who has gone through the articles know that the directors can obtain loan, and the director who approached for loan was presumed to be authorized. How long can you go inside and deep in the affairs of the company to find out whether this person is authorized or that person is authorized? There is a presumption also that, all right, if the person who is approaching is a director or not, that's a limit. One has read the articles, saw that yes, he is a director, then it's presumed that he is an authorized director. And that is where the courts held in favor of the creditor, and the company was liable to repay the loan, stating that this is not ultra vires. And that is where the doctrine of indoor management appeared. So that doctrine of indoor management was propounded in this leading case of Royal British Bank versus Turkand. Right? Moving ahead, the third important document is prospectus. Now, what is prospectus? Prospectus is defined under section 2 subclause 70. 270 says prospectus is a document or an advertisement or a circular including shelf prospectus, red herring prospectus, which is issued by the company to invite subscription. So any document, circular, advertisement, which is issued by the company to the general public inviting subscription to the company is a prospectus. And it's a large area covering definition. When it says any document, then you don't have an escape that no, this was not prospectus, because this is not a circular, because this is not an advertisement, because this is not this, that. No. It's a encompassing definition. Any document which is primarily, the objective of the document is to invite subscription of public to invest in company, that is prospectus. And that is where the Companies Act 2013 also covers, to plug this loophole of a defense of the company, that though they invited subscription, but the document was not prospectus. Because if you want to issue prospectus, there are certain formalities which the company has to undergo, including SEBI regulations. Other than the provisions of the Companies Act, regulations, SEBI regulations are also applicable. So it's a cumbersome procedure. You have to get listed to a stock exchange also. You have to enter into multiple contracts, including underwriting contracts, green shoe contract, balancing agent contract, multiple things are there. So to avoid that, if the company is trying to invite subscription through another means and try to hide behind the fact that this was not a prospectus and therefore those formalities were not complied, 2013 Act has added a provision of a deemed prospectus. Deemed prospectus means the moment it is held that this is some document which is inviting subscription is a deemed prospectus. Right? Now prospectuses are also of various kinds. Section 31 talks about shelf prospectus, another new phenomena by 2013 Act, which is not there in 1956 Act. Shelf prospectus. What is shelf prospectus? Because, as I said, that issuing prospectus is a huge legally cumbersome process and a costly process. So this new type of prospectus is introduced where the company can register a prospectus with the registrar of company for an age of almost up to 1 year. Normally, an ordinary prospectus is issued and brought into the market ranging between 3 days to 5 days. You might have seen initial public offers called IPO. बहुत सारे होर्डिंग लगते हैं शहर भर में IPO के, पर अगर आप रेंज ऑब्जर्व करेंगे तो आपको पता चलेगा वो मैक्सिमम 3 दिन के लिए वो IPO होता है, बहुत हुआ तो 5 दिन के लिए। अब वो 3 और 5 दिन के अंदर ही कंपनी का भाग्य डिटरमिन हो जाता है, whether that IPO is subscribed to the satisfaction of the company or undersubscribed or maybe oversubscribed. If it's a blue chip company, sometimes it's oversubscribed also. लेकिन वो सारा भाग्य 3 दिन में ही डिसाइड हो जाता है, और 3 दिन में अगर सपोज कंपनी इज अंडरसब्सक्राइब्ड, तो अगला प्रोस्पेक्टस इज अनदर ह्यूज ह्यूमंगस एक्सपेंसिव लीगली कंबरसम टास्क. That is why to overcome all that, this new phenomena is added called shelf prospectus. जिस prospectus की एज कंपनी चाहे तो अप टू 1 ईयर रख सकती है, कम भी रख सकती है, पर अप टू 1 ईयर दैट prospectus remains alive. That is why it is called shelf prospectus. मतलब वो prospectus अपने अपने shelf पे रखा, वो जिंदा है साल भर तक. Second, पब्लिक ऑफर आप लाना चाहते हैं तो सेम prospectus पे ला सकते हैं, except that you have to bring a memorandum of second subscription, but that prospectus remains the same. Or suppose if there is a variation into that prospectus, you have to bring it to that variation only into the light. But that prospectus remains alive. That is called shelf prospectus under section 31 of the Companies Act 2013. Another is section 32, red herring prospectus. Red herring prospectus is another type of prospectus where the company can register the prospectus or submit the prospectus, red herring prospectus, before the registrar of the companies, ROC, at least 3 days prior to the date of issue. The day when the company is bringing the issue, at least 3 days prior to that date, a red herring prospectus must be submitted to the registrar in place of the actual prospectus, because you cannot bring prospectus into the market without submitting it to the ROC first and getting it registered. But what happens is sometimes, that's why I said the actual practical possibilities are a little different, because preparing prospectus and bringing it to the market is a humongous task. There are so many things which have to be determined. Like for example, the first thing which you want to ascertain is whether there is a demand for your shares. How would you determine about the quantum of the subscription which you want to bring into the market? As I said, your authorized capital may be X, but you want to issue only a percentage of authorized capital. So on a particular given day, how much issue you want to bring to the market, quantum पता लगाना पड़ता है ना. Coming back to our original example, अगर आपकी समोसे की दुकान है तो समोसा बनाते समय आपको एसरटेन करना कितने बिकेंगे, कितने बना लूं, रॉ मटेरियल कितने का तैयार रखूं, कितने आलू उबाल लूं, नहीं तो वेस्ट हो जाएगा. तो कोई भी बिजनेस में आपको पहले एसरटेन करना पड़ता है पॉसिबिलिटी कि मार्केट में ये जाएगा मेरा प्रोडक्ट कि नहीं जाएगा. सिमिलरली व्हेन यू आर ब्रिंगिंग इशू, मार्केट में डिमांड होगी कि नहीं होगी, मेरा कितना सब्सक्रिप्शन जाएगा, कितना नहीं जाएगा, ये पहला क्वेश्चन होता है. दूसरा क्वेश्चन होता है प्राइसिंग ऑफ द शेयर. क्वांटम के साथ साथ प्राइस भी, कितने का समोसा बेचूं. बना तो लिया मगर प्राइस बराबर नहीं होगा तो भी नहीं बिकेगा. सिनेमा थिएटर में समोसे का भाव अलग और नुक्कड़ के स्टॉल पर अलग होता है ना. हो सकता है सिनेमा वाले यहीं से ले जाते हैं नुक्कड़ से और वहां जाके कुछ और भाव में बेचते हैं. और कमाल की बात यह है, some people will never go to that nukkad. Oh no, that's below standard. And that very samosa at a high price in the multiplex theater, you don't even raise your eyebrow. जब वो कहता है 50 रुपए का एक्सेस, okay, give me 2. I'm sorry? I don't know. They must be lobbying these samosa walas also. So, क्योंकि जैसे मैंने कहा कि बहुत सारी जगहों पे मैं विक्टिम बनता हूँ, ये थिएटर्स में भी बनता हूँ. My wife never likes to take the samosa at Nukkad. No? What do you expect me to take this samosa? No, good? No. When I tell you this very samosa is there. But see, the ambience is important.
I did that.
This is like I'm made to understand. The ambience is important. तो 5 रुपए का समोसा 50 रुपए में खरीद के, अरे मगर उस एम्बियंस को थोड़ी पेट में जाना है, जाना तो समोसे को है. तो प्राइसिंग इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इवन फॉर ब्रिंगिंग द इशू इन द मार्केट. ये सारे कंस्ट्रेंट्स प्रोस्पेक्टस लाने से पहले होते हैं, बिकॉज प्रोस्पेक्टस मार्केट में आ गया तो उसमें तो लिखा है ना सब, क्वांटम प्राइस सब आपको डिटरमिन करना है. ये लास्ट मिनट तक एक्सरसाइज चलती है जब आप प्रोस्पेक्ट, जब व्हेन यू विल गेट इन्वॉल्वड इनटू द कॉर्पोरेट वर्ल्ड.